today's topic is about dating with differences.
And my curls look so ratchet right now.
And let's talk about, my age is kind of late. But other than that,
It don't matter.
Okay, so dating with differences. So I put up on my Facebook about dating people with a different age difference, asking for people's opinions. You know, how did it go? Was it younger? Was it older? Whatever. And I got a lot of responses.
You did.
So the first thing that somebody said was about older women being more demanding. What's the word?
Older women being more demanding. So they're
saying they know what, like, where's this going? Boom,
Oh. So what is older though? Because I feel like right now for guys we're older.
Oh yeah, I mean I think so, but I think
at this point we're the ones like, okay, what's going on?
But since the people that were commenting are our age, I can only imply that the women are older than us. So
understood.
Somebody else said that men behave like a child no matter what.
Okay, so first off, what the difference for the first one was?
Women are demanding.
That's older.
Yes.
Older women are demanding.
Where's it at?
Jesus, he did way too much.
Too much.
He always does. Okay, so first of all,
older women tend to. Oh, that's not the same point.
Okay. So the question was, does age matter?
Older women feel like they're running out of time and make their intentions clear, aka demand marriage, whereas younger chicks trust you a lot and are just enjoying the moment.
So age does matter for that person.
Yeah.
So that was the factor. Age, right? You know, the difference is anything that can be a difference.
Yeah. But the first one we starting off with is age.
Age, because say.
Okay, so I mean, it totally makes sense. If you're older, you want to know where is this going, you know. But let's start with our opinions. So, would you date? Do you think age matters?
Now, I think younger, the older, yes, okay, that's cool, but
no, so that means age matters.
Yes, I can't go too young.
So you would rather date older?
Yes, I can't go too young.
Okay.
Although I will say the younger guys are more committed, more dedicated to trying. Like they'll try harder than a guy our age will. Even the older guys can be a little extra.
See, and I'm gonna have to disagree. First off, we got a comment that said intentions always matter to me. I don't think I'm old. That's true. A lot of girls always want to know where is this going. True enough.
Yeah, true enough.
So this is my thought. I think I would date older if I had to pick one, but I would rather just date somebody my age.
Right.
Because I've dealt with younger guys, and I just felt like I don't know why a woman would date younger. I have no idea, to be quite honest. Unless you're just trying to have fun and you're just looking for a fine man.
Unless you're like a cougar.
Yeah, because I couldn't imagine. I'm 27. I couldn't imagine dating somebody who's 20 or 19 or 21, 22. You're in college. You're doing a lot. You're in a life I've already lived. What do we have to relate on?
Nothing.
And I'm not even a girl that's like, what can you do for me? But what can you do for me? You know, it's just kind of like, that would not work. It doesn't, and it's not about a maturity thing. It's a life phase. You can be mature, but if you're in school and you don't have to wake up until 12 o'clock, we're living two completely different lives.
Right, I'm eating lunch and you just waking up.
Yeah, like, how can that work? And I also think the life phase is just really important to me, which is why I would prefer not to date older, because I'm not where I want to be, and I'm a very, I guess you say, I don't want to say independent, that's not the word for this, but if I was with somebody that say they working and they booming and they, you know, it would kind of be like, what you do today? And they can have all this to say, and I'm like, look for a job. You know, like that wouldn't work for me in my dynamic. And I know that for a fact because when I first moved here, when I moved back after school, I was talking to this guy that was a senior in college. And, you know, so we're about the same age because I had just graduated, but we were just different. Like, I didn't work. I was looking for a job. I was irritable because I couldn't find a job. When he got out of practice and got from class, he like, you want to come over? And I'm like, everything's on his time. You know, it was just, it was just, you know, it was picking at me because it's like, you don't really have nothing to talk about. You know, you don't want to be Debbie Downer. But when I was a senior in college, I was living a great life too. So, you know, kudos to him, but it just wasn't working for me. And I ended up being a terrible person to him. And I really felt bad because he was a really great guy. He's probably not listening. But hey,
probably blocked you.
Yeah, probably
don't see your post anymore.
Probably.
So yeah, I would say I wouldn't preferably date younger. And if he was younger than me, it would have to be. I'm 26. He would have to be like 25.
Yeah,
It would have to be like very close relation if it was younger. But like you said, I would rather date somebody that's like 26 or 27 or 28, you know. Now,
Yeah.
the 30, because the 30s because I've entertained some older guys too, and it's still kind of like the same bullcrap.
Yes.
Like, you can't hold a conversation. You don't pick up the phone and call. You want to text me all the time. You want us to meet you at the club. What?
Oh my God, no, for real. At any age, do not ask me that. But
Like,
older
what?
guys that do that is really, I'm concerned about your future.
Like, it's okay if we meet in the club and you want your friend, her and her friends to come to your section, get us a drink.
But
or
it's
something.
by no means a first date.
Right, it's not a date, and every time from there, don't text my phone telling me to come to the club.
Jesus.
Like, what?
Okay, so this is what I was gonna say about. Well, let me read our comments first. So Drew G said that older women just know what they want and not gonna play with it, but can go for young. No, they just know what they want and not gonna play with it, but can go for younger also. I get the first part, or do you mean they can?
He's
just
saying
go
they can go for younger girls too,
Oh,
because
okay.
they're younger girls that are mature.
Right, true. And Conquer Excel said age is a factor depending on the person and circumstances. True. But that's why I said though about the life phase.
Yeah.
Cause you know cause that college thing is the best example. When you're in college, somebody's not in college, that could be tough. And even at the same age, if you date somebody and they don't go to school and they go off to school, the other person go off to school, y'all are living in two different worlds. Like, the person don't understand that when you in college, things happen, and the next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. because they ain't in school. So it's kind of like that's the whole barrier to try to work with. But this is what I was gonna say about older guys. So the older guy I dated, what was it, last summer? Oh God, time is flying. So last summer, and he was great. I mean, he was great. He was 30, I think, 31. He was great. I mean, I remember like all that texting, and no, he called me. I remember when I first went out with him and he came and rang the doorbell. I was like, oh my God, he's a grown man. He'd be texting like, I'm on the way. None of that. Walk me to the door. Which just sounds like people just don't do nothing these days. But that kind of stuff was impressive. I mean, he planned stuff. When he planned it, we did it.
He wasn't walking around asking her what she wanted to eat. He was making the plans.
The first 3 times we went out was just wear this and come on, be prepared for this. Like, yes, the first day we went out, it was, do you want to do this tomorrow? Like, when you like them, you make it happen. You make moves. And I do like that about some older guys because they will not, beat around the bush. It's not going to be all that, I wonder do they like me? Are they going to call me back? Because they're older. Now, granted, some older guys could be invited to the club. But my experience was very good.
And we got a comment that says, I don't discriminate at all. I done had problems with younger girls and older girls. And I think his current girlfriend is younger, so. Oh, yeah. Back up on me. So the next difference.
So he was a good guy. Okay, so we got a question that want to know why I'm not with him no more if he was so great.
Well, they weren't with each other. They were
we dated, yeah. But the chemistry wasn't like great. Even though he was a very good guy. He's in a good relationship now, and I really am happy for him. But when I met him, he didn't just get divorced, but he had been divorced, and he wasn't really into dating. So I think we kind of helped each other out. Like, I was in a phase where I wanted to date people, and actually we had this conversation. Like, he told me, thank you for, giving me hope in females, basically, because he was just kind of like over it when he got divorced. So I think we just played the role we were supposed to play. Like, it wasn't like chemistry for like long term, but he was a great person, great guy. And he's a great person for somebody right now.
Because he's with somebody.
Yes, and they look happy.
But he wasn't for her.
Yeah.
He wasn't man enough.
And that's okay.
And that's the thing. This is all topic, but he's such a good guy, but he's just not the guy for me. That's so sad, but the statement is so true. And I know
I don't think it's sad at all.
And I know it's sad in a sense, not really, but it's just like, dang, he's just like the perfect guy, but he's just not the guy for me.
Well, the reason I don't think it's sad is because, like, with the younger guy that I talked to, that I had the bad experience, another young guy, I feel like, what's the problem in being like, I'm not the one for you. You're not the one for me. Like, if I just met you, we've been talking for 4 weeks or a month, and it's just, or 2 months, and it's just not working. Just keep it moving.
Right.
Like, I didn't know you 2 months ago, so
right. Life was great without me 2 months ago.
And then it's
so
like,
let's just
and people are like, what happened? What went wrong? Are you gonna change yourself? Because please don't. Don't change yourself for me. Like, you
That's
know,
what Erica said.
it's just like, let it go, basically.
Don't change.
We got a comment from Miss K5. She said, my brother is 45 and still macking on purpose. Age doesn't change someone's intention.
Listen, I hear it all the time from my aunts and my cousins. They older. The men don't change. The age just do. And all men, it's men that's 45 still hoeing. Why you think CIAA be all them old men out there with their wedding rings off?
And it's not that your age changes your intention. I think experience does. So, like, some people may go through something where they know, like, the next time they not, you know, they learned a lesson. You know, maybe they got the
I just feel like at a certain age, you just shouldn't be doing certain things.
I mean, yeah.
Like, experience, like, because it's not, because then it's just like, okay, I was married and my wife cheated on me and we got a divorce. So now I'm just about to go hoe around and hurt girls. Like, you too old to do that. Like, at this point, I can see if we was in college and you was deeply in love, you got your heart broke, and now you kind of cheating, and it's still you wow, and it's still almost a sketch because it's just like, we're grown. When you know it's wrong, period. Like, and you know if you 45, you got hurt, okay, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry it had to be him, but it was you, and you don't need to be out here acting crazy because then you just you burning more bridges, hurting more people. Yeah. Getting your karma to come back and smack you in the face.
So I have a question. Are there any women that would, like, I feel like nobody's gonna say yes, but anybody that would date a younger guy? Not saying, like, don't say the whole depends on blah blah, because you know there are men that only want to date older women. So are there any? I feel like there's never women that want to date only younger men.
I would entertain a younger guy.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all of it depends on what we're trying to get out of it at the end of the day. Because it's like, if you know this person ain't really, you know, long term, then it doesn't really matter if you can deal with them at the time.
Right.
But, I don't know.
So, any other differences other than age that people had commented on?
Well, yeah, but hold on. So I did have a comment from somebody who just got married, like, last year, and their husband is 10 years older than them.
Shit, how old is the person?
She's about 3 years older than me. So she might be 30, maybe 29, 28.
So he's like 39.
Yeah. I think they have a kid together, like a 4 or 5 year old too. But anyway, she said somebody asked on my comments, were there a lot of adjustments for them? And she said that she has an old soul, so she don't think, you know, she had any adjustments, but that he had to adjust to her not wanting to be a stay-at-home wife and mom and stuff, and like her wanting to work and stuff, which was interesting because if you think that's a big thing too with the life phases, generational. Somebody that's 40 years old, or maybe older, they might expect a different thing from a woman than somebody that's in our generation and maybe what they're used to. They always date people their age, so I thought that was interesting that she said he wasn't really open to her working.
Okay. So Davian is in the chat and he's really trying to get our attention. So hello, Davian. He's like, guys, I'm here. Did y'all miss me? Guys, I'm here. Okay.
Y'all tell Davian, hey, Jasmine, I know.
That's not Jasmine.
No, we're here. Oh. Davian. Oh gosh.
And Vash says maturity doesn't come with age, but more so responsibility. Right? Because then it's like I said, you know what's right and you know what's wrong. That's not even being mature. That's just knowing what you know. Mm-hmm. I just dabbed.
So, is Ladarius here today?
I don't think so.
So, Ladarius likes older women. And we need you to tell us why.
I don't think Ladarius is here.
Well, he might be. So, we just gave him a call. Shout out.
Ladarius.
We'll see.
So, is there anybody in the chat that does prefer older women or
prefer?
Oh, thank you, Amir. He said, bless you.
Is there anybody that prefers either or? Whether you prefer older or younger, or
what's
are you
your
just
preference?
trying to get a date? Because that's okay.
Or not. Because that's okay too.
Right. Ladarius is here. I told you.
Well, don't be in here quiet. We need to know some things. We asking you questions we got to know. Sips wine. You need to. Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. We had another comment. So, you know, the age-old tale of, what? Hate?
No, first of all.
No.
Relax. He's talking about the dots. Okay, so Conquer XL says that
she said the same thing.
He likes older women, and I can see that. He's kind of mature. I can see that. Sativa says, I don't have a preference, but I tend to attract younger. And the younger guys are really nice guys, and they're just really they give you that.
Who, younger guys?
Yeah, sometimes.
Wait,
some
real
guys.
quick,
Some
let me
guys.
clear this up before this starts a beef. So he didn't mean that he hates Jasmine. That's how both of us read it.
No, he said he hates Dots.
He said I hate Dot's little sister. My nickname is Dot, so that's how I read
Does
it.
he call you Dot?
No, but that's how I read it, and that's how she read it.
Oh,
but he meant her saying
Dots.
Davian Dot.
I that's what I took. I didn't take it as him knowing you to be Dot.
Well,
I get it now.
Yeah. Okay. So
back to the
Drew G said it doesn't matter as long as they're about having future and goals. Kamar said his next experiment is older women.
So what have you been doing? Younger?
I think he's been
or
same
age.
Sativa said I don't have a preference, but I tend to attract younger. I attract younger men.
I said that.
Me?
No, I said that
comment. But this is what I think about younger men. I think that.
Wait, American said I'm just convinced my fuse is short. Old or young, my nerves be worse. And it's true because at the end of the day, we're women.
I think younger men to me, they may be ready, like they might be on it, whatever. But there's just a lack of follow through. I feel that's my personal opinion. Like they may go all in, but it's not. We're not really.
Oh yeah, granted. Yeah, I'm not really going. I just like you to make me feel good. Like he made.
And we got a comment from Ladarius who said, "I just prefer older women. It's always been like that. I used to find the girls back in high school real petty." So I just wasn't looking for that.
And that can be a very outstanding impression on you that makes you not want to talk to younger people. So that makes sense. And in high school, people are in college, that petty spirit. Jesus.
Kenny M said, as long as you both have an understanding and working towards a goal in the future, it shouldn't matter.
Who's Kenny M? Do we know?
Miss K. Fife said, does age matter to gays? I don't know. Is anybody gay in this and listening?
And we still love you if you are. Don't
tell us what you think.
But either way, so other than past age,
the other one is race. That's what stands out to me.
Mm-hmm.
Dating outside of your race.
And most of the comments was on age, but as far as race, I know a guy. We call him Sunshine, and his wife is black and Sunshine is white, but I don't think it's almost like you wouldn't think he was white, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Those white people you just see inside. And also my homeboy from college, Landon, he's white, and all he dated was black girls. Mm-hmm. So I think when it comes to the race, I think it becomes a thing of your personality and how you act.
Same as the age, experiences and phases and all that.
Yeah. You're right.
Because now there was this one white guy I really thought was so fine at school. And I think this is what the problem I think with dating outside of your race. It's harder to know, or I think the chances are lower that the person is gonna like me back. Because you don't know if they date outside their race, or you don't know if. Because, what's attracted to a black man about a black woman is not what's attracted to a Hispanic or a white guy about a black woman. So it's like, I think it's harder to decide if that person is going to like you back.
Right, because you just don't know what
you don't know what they're into.
I mean, I would want to date outside of my race just for the experience, like just to see like what it is, how it is. Like, is it the same? How would the conversations be like, especially with the world today and politics and like the killings of the blacks and stuff? Like, I wonder how we would interact, like, when those topics happen and those topics came up.
But I think, as cliche as it sounds, like at the end of the day, we're all human. So it's like, if I'm attracted to you enough to be talking to you and dating you, I would like to think we have the same interests, and same as if you're black. I'm not just dating any black guy. Do we have the same interests and the same viewpoints, or, like the same songs, like that type of thing? So I feel like it would be no different if I'm dating a white guy or a Mexican guy or, whatever.
I get it. But I would definitely still want to, like, just see. But I don't even know if white guys like me.
That's what I was just saying, though.
I'm trying to think, like, have white guys ever tried to, like me?
I feel like the white guys I like never like me. And the white guys out there, they try to talk to me. L. Dunlap said, I love black women, but God knows I won't have no problem dating outside. I think all men feel the same.
Right, y'all just be
Y'all
looking for
just date
beauty.
anybody. Sativa said, I love black men, but have dated others. Drew G said, I love all women, don't mind dating, but it's nothing like a sister. Conquer Excel said, race doesn't matter for two people with chemistry, but it may factor in as far as the environment around those. Devaria said, I love black women, don't mind other races, but it's something about sisters. You know, I think, but I think sometimes it can open, this is what I think about. Eve and her husband. So Eve is married to a white guy. I think he's European maybe, but anyway, he's like a billionaire or whatever. So she interviewed.
And they live overseas somewhere.
And they were talking about how she met him and stuff. She was saying like he didn't even know she was a rapper. Like he, up until the year she was about to do another album, he was like, oh, your little rap thing? Like, she's like, no, for real, I was a real rapper. He's like, that's cute. Okay, whatever. And I think that's kind of like cool to be, like, it's something interesting about opening somebody up to something different and, you know, trying something different or, you know, I think that's cool.
And also, it lets you know that he's not for that. He's not for anything else but Eve. Who Eve is, who he knows her to be.
Which she might not would have found that with a black guy because you're Eve.
Right, exactly. So for him to be like, that's what's up.
Damien, I'm cool as long as you're not full-blown Mexican. As opposed to half-blown.
Yeah, what?
Jesus Christ. I'll tell you every week. Kenny M said, I love my black women. Dating outside isn't an issue. It's more about keeping my attention and keeping me interested. True. So has anybody actually
dated out there?
Yeah, we talking about what we would.
And even if y'all not on the Mixler app, if y'all hear us and y'all got our numbers or whatever, just let us know. And if y'all did date outside y'all race, like, how was that? I need a white man to like me. I'm about to go hang out at some white clubs and see.
Me and Martika had a potential double date with this guy that looks like a David Beckham, and the other dude was kind of like a Lito, like on Jersey Shore, the one I was going with, but it didn't happen.
Listen,
Martika did talk to the other one, but I think the other one had a girlfriend.
If I find me a David Beckham, okay, bye black guys.
Bye.
That'll be.
Damien said I can do Mexican mixed with black or white. I have. Jesus. Miss K5 said, my friend here with me, she asked, do Africans count? Yeah, Africans count.
I mean, but y'all black too.
But we talking culture and differences.
Yes,
Africans are different.
Yes, that's true.
Because Africans don't want to be called black, and black, you want to be called African. So
I mean, if somebody, not me per se. I was about to say, I wouldn't care.
No, but I mean, like, if you think of like a dark-skinned girl, if you think she African, it's kind of like, well, I got to be African. Yeah.
I have a comment that says, I wouldn't date necessarily outside of my race, but I dated a full-blown African, accent and everything, and he treated me better than I've ever been treated. Africans are very aggressive, and they know how to treat their women. Jamaican men are crazy. They're crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like overprotective, crazy. But Africans are like that too. They can come off kind of overprotective, over your shoulder, what you doing type thing.
So Avas said, I dated out my race. The experience wasn't bad except when my grandma turned full-blown racist in the midst of a convo. I put that up on my Facebook. Dating outside of your race
and bring your family.
Because I think that's who a lot of people worry about. Like, I know Martika, hey girl, if you listening, she told me about, like, one of the first guys she liked in middle school was a white guy or an Indian guy or something. And she's from a small town. So it's kind of, you know, not that any of us are really that far forward in life, but they're kind of more behind. And she was saying, you know, her daddy was not cool with that. So I think that's a big thing too, because if you had to bring somebody home, you know, what would everybody say? Makes me think of the episode of Fresh Prince when Aunt Janet's husband is white and everybody act like he's not white and they all uncomfortable.
And we just got a comment, one of our homeboys dated outside of his race, and he said it was straight. At the end of the day, it's a woman. And women are women. Like, that's it. He said, I couldn't take her home, though. My grandmother would have been tight.
She was white. See, that's crazy, though.
Got another one from a girl. I have dated a white guy, and if we went out, you would be surprised how many people stare. Yeah. But he was confident, which made him more attractive. It just didn't work out, unfortunately. I was trying it out, and he was ready to find someone to settle down with. So he was trying to settle down, and she was just trying to have the experience.
And Martika's listening. She said the boy's name was Johnny Steele. He was so fine. No one that got away. No, but I think it's a really good point because when you date outside of your race, it's more about other people. Because if you're fine with dating them, that's the same as if you dating somebody with a huge age gap. Sometimes people look at you some type of way like, what he want with her? She 20 years younger than him, whatever. But I think that like Tamara Mallory, like she gets a lot of backlash, and she's half black, half white, and she gets a lot. When she first was like posting her wedding photos, like people was calling her like a white man's whore, like all this stuff, and it's just kind of like Jesus Christ, like.
And at the end of the day, genuine. It's about being genuine. And that, like how somebody said earlier, the chemistry, the vibe you get with somebody, like, that has no color and it honestly has no face, to be honest. When you get that click with somebody, that vibe, because I've seen a lot of unattractive people that are madly in love with somebody and they're madly in love with them too. And to me, it's like, ew, they ugly. But to somebody else, it's like they're everything that they want and need.
And Martika said that she had the worst experience with that guy. Basically, they grew up together. So if you live in a small town, everybody know everybody. They know their family and all of that. They went to the same middle school, same high school, all that. So she said, I had grown up with him, and I couldn't believe my dad saw color, especially with him. My dad messed up my 9th grade prom. My dad's reasoning was that he didn't want me to go through racism that was unnecessary. But me and the boy didn't understand. Our parents were cool and everything, but it's not about color. But yes, Nell Boogie, the vibe is everything, all that matters. So, and I think that's where it gets tricky too when you try to, like in her situation, so you're living a life where you don't act like you see color until it hits home to your daughter. Because you're cool with his parents, you're cool with him, you're cool with all the kids, whatever. But then when it's in your house, that's when you're like, oh no, cut it. So that's kind of like when people get, and that's all the time, people get mixed signals about, what's acceptable and what's okay and what's not. And I think that's a problem. It gets a little tricky.
I had something else I wanted to say. Sorry if y'all heard me put my glass down. Dang, I don't know what I wanted to say.
Well, we got a comment.
Good.
Ladarius said his mom hates that he likes older women.
Are you a mama's boy?
No, he's not. Kamar dated a Liberian girl, and we had a lot in common. Maybe because my family's from the islands and we eat the same. True. Tell Miss Janice I said, hey, I love Kamar mama. Her accent is amazing. Key said, I know I could not bring someone outside my race to the house. My grandma would flip, I guess. And that's because most grands still had to live in those times when race was big. That's true.
Yeah, and to them, they're still scarred from that stuff.
Conquer said, my family wouldn't like a white woman, but would accept her if I was happy. I've never dated outside of my race, but I always wanted to. I would like to think that my immediate family, like my mom and dad, would be fine. If I'm happy and he treats me good and, all of that, it would be cool. I mean, I can't speak for, like I said, my grandmas and
everybody.
Great people, great grandparents, whatever. I don't have any great grandparents. I don't know why I said that. Great uncles or great aunts. I don't know what they would say or how they would act. They'd be shady or anything. But I think my family, if I'm happy, they would be happy. I would like to think so.
So we got a comment.
And I wouldn't feel no type of way if my brothers brought home a white girl or my sister brought home a white man or anybody else. Like, if they're a cool person.
And I think when it comes down to the issue about like a white man and a white man and a black woman, it really isn't an issue when the black woman dates the white man. It becomes more of a thing when you see the black men with the white women, or the foreign chicks
and
for trophies.
We talked about this briefly one time.
We have talked about it, and somebody texted me and said, not sure if y'all discussed this, but why are so many celebs? We've talked about it before, period.
Go ahead. Just read it.
Not today, but we talked about it. But why are so many celebs, black pro male athletes in particular, are so apt to date outside of their race? So many black ball stars are against dating black women and will marry white or Hispanic or foreign women. Why is this? And we have talked about this. As a black woman getting bad, as the black woman in the world, quote to say, we have a bad rep, off rip. And when I feel like when you get to a certain level in life, I think a lot of it isn't genuine. Not to judge what anybody has going on, and not to judge like them as a whole, but I feel like some men that aren't all the way into their mature state of mind looking for trophies. They're looking for somebody. They're gonna marry that person that's gonna look good on their arm, and unfortunately, a lot of black men don't necessarily feel like they want to be with a black woman, or maybe they had bad experiences, or maybe they feel like the black woman is ghetto or loud or nagging or complaining. Or black women are strong individuals.
Okay, well, I disagree.
And everybody can't handle that.
Yeah, I disagree. I think one, to say that why are so many black ball players or whatever against a black woman? Did anybody say that, or are we just saying that's how we feel? Because I don't think
she's going off of her feel.
Yeah,
she's not saying nobody.
Right, but I don't feel like people are against it. But what we did talk about on the show was that, to me, when black men end up being with white women or Asian women or whatever, I think. Yes, I think there is a class thing. When you are at the top of the world, you have more options. The black dude that lives on the south side or the north side of Charlotte, he only got black women to choose from. Like, I think that when you get higher up, same with women, you get to meet a lot of different guys, and I think it's the person, they have more possibilities to marry somebody else.
I feel like that on the professional, I don't feel like that about sports players. I feel like that more so about corporate, high-end presidents, CEOs. I don't really feel that way about sports players. Well,
I do, because I went to NC State, and every woman, black, white, Mexican, Asian, knows the basketball team, and the basketball team knows them. We're not at a black school with only black girls. It's a bunch of people that would try to get with the athletes. So I'm saying they get their pick. They get more options.
They get a pick of the litter.
Yeah, you get more options. Now, whether
you get all the dogs instead of one color.
So whether and I don't think they're really trying to look for a trophy wife, because I think we live in a day and age where a lot of people don't even want to get married. So I don't think people are getting married to somebody to look good. I think they want them to look good, yes, but I don't think they're picking. I think you could easily just not get married. But at the same time, I don't think that it's like a black woman couldn't be a trophy wife, because you can find a drop
she definitely can.
Model,
drop dread gorgeous. Hello.
A model black woman or whatever. So I don't think it's a trophy wife type of thing. But
I'm just saying, so I know that some guys, when they go for the look of who they want to be with, they have a look that they're going for. Some guys, I like my black woman, but ain't nothing like a Dominican or ain't nothing like a Puerto Rican. Look at her skin. Woo, woo, woo.
But then I also think when you say trophy wife about somebody that looks good, kind of make me feel some type of way, because we don't know these women. Like, they look good, but they may be amazing at some things. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
very well.
Yeah, so I'm saying, like, when people label somebody a trophy wife that we've never heard have a conversation, they could be intelligent, they could be,
judgment.
So it's like, she may be beautiful, but that doesn't mean that she's not other things.
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. But good question, good topic, good everything.
Yeah, because we talked about that, like,
and we got a lot of comments.
Too.
So Damien said if you ugly, his grandma gonna talk about you when you leave, regardless of race.
Yes.
Who else?
I agree with you when you was on your NC State thing.
Yes, thank you. Let's see here. If you bad and you got baby ears, my grandma gonna sing them.
Okay, why you?
Damien, stop. We gave you your laugh. Like, stop it.
Oh my God. You gotta chill.
So, are there any other differences that we could think of?
I think that's the main two, the main age and.
So, what about what's the difference that you think would affect
religion?
Okay, there we go. That's a good one.
Off the top of the dome.
So, I think that's kind of like
that's sketch.
Yeah, you can't. I think it makes me think. Well, I want to say, it's not up for debate, but then some people aren't strong in their religion, so they're not. They may have just be a religion because they were raised that way, and then they're open to somebody else. Because on Sex and the City, Charlotte, she switched to being Jewish for her husband, whatever. So it kind of just depends on how strong your faith is, and if you're, solid in that, or maybe somebody could turn you Pentecostal.
Well, for me, that's a deal breaker, because relationships and things are all about foundation. And if we aren't on the same foundation, and if we aren't on the same path, if you're a Muslim and you think you can marry all these women in the world, and here I am, I'm all for one woman man, one man woman, we ain't gonna work, because somewhere down the line, your mind is set to do what your religion that you believe in feels is okay. So somewhere along the way, you gonna cheat. You gonna do something. So for me personally, a house divided can't stand.
Yeah.
If you on the left and I'm on the right, ain't no way we gonna merge and walk together in the middle. It's not happening. But I do have somebody I was at school with. And I had a discussion with him about it because I really wanted to know how this worked. He's a full-blown atheist. He's an atheist.
And what's she?
And
it doesn't even matter.
She's somebody.
Yeah, right.
She's like, I don't even know what she was. But the first thing, my first question was like, do you think that'll work? Now they're married, granted. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, so religion isn't a big deal breaker for you? And he was like, no, I mean, I'm an atheist, so how many people will I run into that's an atheist with me?
Yeah, but then it goes back to what we was talking about, dating a white person, and you was talking about the conversations you would have. Like, what are we talking, how do we talk about, not saying everything has to be alike, but what are we talking about when we on two different sides of the
right.
Of the
and
line?
he said he was like, I mean, it doesn't affect us. Like, she does her thing, I do my thing, and we don't really talk about stuff like that.
No, okay, now I'm
we don't talk about religion. We don't talk about that type of stuff. But it's just like, so if she was to come home one day, quote unquote, hypothetically, like, babe, I might be about to get laid off. Like, can you pray with me? It's like, what?
We got a comment that said, oh, I've dated a girl that didn't believe in God. That ended once I found out. Crazy you just said that. Well, I was going to say, I kind of get it. I don't know what you just said that kind of made me get it. I think you said come home or something.
Yeah, because
but it made me think.
We don't have to discuss that.
Well, yeah, and it's no different than, I don't want to say a man that doesn't have religion like an atheist, but just somebody that's just not strong in what they believe. Like, and this is not to say my dad doesn't believe in God, but when we were growing up, my daddy didn't go to church with us. He didn't care for the church we went to or whatever. So it was like Sunday, mom got all the kids dressed, and we went with my mama to church, came home, my daddy was still there. So it's kind of like, I could see it being, so if my dad wasn't into religion, not that he wasn't, but if he wasn't into religion, then that would just be how it went. We went to church, came back home, whatever. So I could see that, but at the same time, like you said, religion is the basis for a lot of things, like relationships and
beliefs,
yourself and, what's right and what's wrong. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like if we don't believe the same thing, we open up a whole
another can of paint
of disagreements that we already got plenty of disagreements. We're two people trying to live together, make decisions, let alone bring in morals and beliefs and values and then try to stay on the same page. Like, whew, sounds complicated.
So we got a comment. Religion is big. Religion matters. You must know my Jesus.
I think religion doesn't change most relationships.
Might not call him God, Jesus, but I would hope you believe in something higher than yourself, probably. Yeah. And her comment got cut off.
I kind of agree with this, with DeVaris.
His slop.
Because I guess I'm thinking it really depends on what degree you are religious.
Well, yeah, and personally, I think that's a personal answer. You as yourself, you and your relationship with your higher being, I think it goes with that. Like, I feel like it depends. Like me, it'll be a relationship breaker with me, whereas for somebody else it wouldn't. Now, and I'm not saying you gotta be like gung ho.
No, that's what I'm saying though.
Okay.
What you're about to say.
Well, I feel like as long as you,
I'm not saying y'all opposite. I'm just saying the levels of your faith,
the religion level is relative.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that's like either way. Like if you a little bit of Muslim, I ain't talking.
No, I'm not saying the opposite religions. I'm
saying the same.
Yeah, like how I said with my daddy. My daddy could have went to another church.
Oh yeah, I don't think that messes up.
Yeah, so I'm saying like it's just all kind of like, but at the same time, it's plenty of people, both Christians, that don't work out.
Well,
so
and
it
then
just kind of.
Slav said, "I can't stop loving somebody because they don't believe what I believe." Well, before you love them, you know what they believe in. Let me just say that. But I get what you're saying.
We break up people we still love every day.
Yeah, like so.
But we talking about the foundation for which y'all function.
Yeah, like the basis of it. Like somebody you trying to spend. We're talking about somebody you trying to spend the rest of your life with. Like I can see dating and you love somebody and they might go to the left later on in life. But I'm saying somebody you trying to spend forever with.
Okay, somebody said everything should depend on criteria and chemistry, not color. Foundation is everything. I want me and my partner to share the same faith. Davian said males usually don't go to church as much as females from what I've seen. L. Dunlap said religion doesn't matter that much. Davian said religion shouldn't matter because people believe are Christians in different formats. Keith said it matters depending on your own belief. Many believe in the unequal yoke, which is a big deal for some. Ms. K. Fife said, I can't build a future when we aren't equally yoked. Like you not down for baptisms and going to church together and praying together. El Dunlap said, this is off topic a little, but if we believe in an all-being God, why wouldn't we believe that he himself created multiple religions that lead to him? That's just something I've been thinking. Damien said, people are Christians in different formats, is what he meant to say.
Mm-hmm. And that's true, too.
Yeah.
I just think that it's a discussion that should be had with somebody that you're trying to be with. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's something that comes up. Like, so what are your and a lot of people aren't religious. A lot of people aren't into religion. They're spiritual because at the end of the day, I believe in God. I believe that he created all things. I believe this. I believe that. But people in that same instance can say, but I'm not a Christian. So I'm not with any of the practices. And I always say that a lot too, and we didn't say this before on here, like it's about your relationship with your higher being and what you feel is right and your morals and how you live your life. Like at the end of the day, if you want a whole nother page as me on what you feel is right and what's wrong, we ain't working. And that's past religion. That's real life. Like if we ain't on the same page, we ain't working. And just to let y'all know, we are sponsoring San Antonio Cardinal Sweet Red
the
wine.
Spirits.
And let me tell y'all something. You can get it from your local Total Wine.
It's communion based.
And it's great. It's a red wine, and me nor Pierre really like red wines, but it's good, it's sweet, and it's amazeballs.
I love how we segue into that, though.
And we're about to fill Pierre back up.
Yeah.
Fill me up, God.
Okay, the other difference somebody commented and said when we first talked about religion was finances. She said that she was told that white women are taught to marry into money and black women are taught, I think she said looks, are taught to look into looks. I don't know about that, but I will say that marrying, it's, I guess, looking for finances. I don't say marrying finances, speak that, but let's talk about finances in itself. I don't think that finances are a deal breaker in terms of what you have, but
we need to both be able to save. We need to both be on the same level of trying to get somewhere.
But at the same time, if you're not and you're willing to let me help you, then that's good. Because, usually in a marriage, somebody handles the money. Somebody handles the bills. Somebody does all the bills. Somebody makes sure, it could be the man or the woman. So it doesn't have to be both of us. But you can't be running out here, buying everything, and I'm over here trying to save for a house. That's, that's not going on.
Right. I think it's a lot of stuff that's first of all, we have some good comments. Y'all drinking live. y'all niggas some bosses. XM gonna give y'all a show. With it said it first. Shout out to our group chat with it and be easy. We love y'all. But in a
good comment about the religion. Martika said, I think most people are fine when it's just the two of them, but it's when kids get involved. How will they be raised? I think that's when most couples end up falling out about it. That's true.
Yeah, because then it becomes a thing of, baby, this is such, and then daddy might be like, no, this ain't it.
And then you got the elders, the grandparents who want to believe that if you Jewish, you should do this and this, That's, I think, when the older people once again take over the show, because they don't play that.
Yeah, a lot, because they already have their own things, their own baggage, honestly. That's what... But I can't even call it baggage. I'm gonna say their own experiences because that's just what hinders.
And what works for them, basically, is what they're saying. I got one. Any other differences we could think of that would matter?
We're all doing.
I'm gonna tell you what kind of difference that I think what kind of matter to me.
I have one. You better not say it.
It's not gonna be the same thing.
Say it.
I think I will family size. It's a little trivial, probably. But, I come from a big family, so to speak. And I don't know. I just, not a big fan of only children.
Because only child syndrome is real. Yeah. Shout out to my cousin, because I know you're listening. But only child syndrome is real. And a lot of times,
and a lot of times what you will find with only children is they don't understand the dynamic of the siblings.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. And, me and my siblings, we will fight tooth and nail, but don't you say nothing about it. Whatever. My brother may be a hot mess, but I'll say, you hush. So, and that's hard to understand when you're not in that, it's not the same as having a cousin or a play brother, play sister. Because I don't believe in play sisters and all that because if I need something, can't call them.
Right. I'm calling them.
Right.
I don't give a.
So it's just kind of like, I think that's a big thing with me too. It might cause a little, not a big rift.
And maybe another difference would be like,
hey, all the only children in the group.
I'm the only child. I feel like it'll be like a difference. Well, it wouldn't even be discussed as a difference because we wouldn't get far at all anyway.
What?
Like the personality, like
you're
in like if you are
somebody said goals in future, having goals and all that.
Yeah, like also foundational things because those are things that are discussed in the beginning to let you know if you can rock with somebody or not.
Sativa said she's still learning how to share.
Yeah, because y'all don't know how to. Y'all are very selfish individuals. And it's okay. Because y'all didn't grow up y'all didn't grow up with a sister that want to wear your shirt or your shoes or your jacket or you got to give it to your right, or you got to give it to your little sister because mommy can't get it, or shout out to the little sisters.
Right.
Hey Jasmine.
Trust.
Hey Janai. How y'all doing?
But okay, so that's really all today about the differences. Right.
And before we wrap it up, we want to give a shout out to one of our loyal listeners every freaking Friday. If we're on, she's promoting, she's sharing, she's liking, she's doing it all, and she's doing something.
Miss K Fife,
and it's called the Feminine and Fresh Hygiene Project. It's December 23rd from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. and they're accepting all feminine products at this location, 9224 Graham Ridge Drive, Charlotte, North Carolina. And we'll put this on our pages, so if y'all do want to look for it, it'll be on Drop Dread Gorgeous or Miss P. Dot on Instagram. We'll post this. And shout out to Kendra for doing something great for the community, trying to give back, helping women, because these are things that
imagine being homeless on your period, the stress.
And they are accepting pads, tampons, wipes, and panty liners to benefit the ladies of the Salvation Army Center for Hope.
Yes.
The drop-off site, we'll post it. I'm gonna post it because it ain't like y'all writing this down.
And
shout out to Miss K Fife and whoever is doing those endeavors with her. We see y'all and y'all keep up the good work.
And Ladarius, we know that y'all are not all selfish. We didn't say selfish. That's a strong word. We just, there's a little knowledge, experience barrier. That's all. And Miss K Fife said, I'm the middle child. I had to share stuff. I'm the middle child too. And that's another point. Even if you have siblings, dating the baby of the family and the oldest of the family, it's completely different world. So
the oldest, the middle, and the young, it's all different.
Yeah, everybody act differently. But okay.
We're going to wrap it up with the quote of the week. And we're going to close out with a song today. We're not going to close out with our outro.
We not? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. Okay, so this quote is from my church service this week, which was a really great service about destiny calling. And the quote is, God brings you uncomfortableness to show you that you can't settle where you think you might could settle at. And I like that a lot. We talked about being uncomfortable, being uncomfortable last week. And I like it because it kind of makes you think, if you have a job, say you get a job that pays good. You just got out of college or whatever. You got a job that pays good. You think, oh yeah, but that job's not what you want to do. Then something comes up. Maybe your maybe your expenses get jacked up, and now that job, it seems like it pays so good, doesn't pay so good compared to, your expenses. So now you feeling the strain and you're uncomfortable. So that shaking, your situation and your foundation lets you know that what you thought was okay and what was maybe the ceiling for you is not. You have to shake your world sometimes to let you know that you're going to have to move on. You can't settle where you are. And I thought that was really good because life can be uncomfortable so often just to show you that, there's more and you got to keep moving.
And I agree with everything Pierre said. And the post that you all might have seen on social media, God makes you uncomfortable to make a shift in your life. And I actually said that this week in my Mojo messages that I send out every morning. Shout out to y'all. It's once you get uncomfortable, accept that, because the transition is about to happen that you've been waiting for, or that you asked for, or that you prayed for. So don't complain when you in that no good job that you don't want to be at no more. Don't complain when you got to go to school. Don't complain because at the end of the day, you've been praying for things and it's all coming into shape and form because you're very uncomfortable right now.
And one of the ongoing metaphors that we use in service was about the butterfly. And we talked about the caterpillar being in the cocoon for so long, and he was like, "Can you imagine how uncomfortable a cocoon
And
is?"
finally, he busted on
But
it.
oh my God, the results that a butterfly yields.
And look at the butterflies.
Yes. So next week we'll be back, y'all, and next week we're talking about people in the workplace and the inappropriateness that goes on. Black people mainly, but we talking about
BlackPeopleMeet.com
at work. That's unacceptable. We're gonna be talking about that, so we'll be back same time next
Same
week.
place.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
to tell another friend.
Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. All that good stuff. We appreciate y'all for listening so much. My name is Pierre Javon.
My name is Nelly P.
And this is Fair Game.
Life is not fair.
But we are.
Hey.